You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Ian, look at this.
What, it's a police box. What on earth is he doing here? I mean, these things are usually on the street. I feel it. I feel it. You feel it?
Faint vibration.
It's alive.
Earth Station Who, a fun mashup exploring over 60 years of the Doctor Who universe. Hold on tight. You never know where the crew of the TARDIS is going next.
Hey there, Whovians, and welcome to another episode of the Earth Station Who podcast. That's right, folks. We are back, and we are actually doing a review this time. Finally, the last two episodes have been all Doctor Who, best ofs and our favorites and such, and it's been fun to do that. We got some great responses, and we got some great folks, writing and saying, what about this story? What about this story? Oh, wait, should this be our favorites or should this be? And so we got tons of that. And it was a great time to be able to talk about that and with you guys at home and, of course, my crew here. And it's always fun to do this kind of stuff. But we actually are going back and we're doing some reviews for the next few episodes. And guess what, folks? We're going back to the Tom Baker episodes tonight. And we are looking at Destiny of the Daleks. It should be a ton of fun, actually, to talk about this one. It's a follow-up to Genesis of the Daleks. And it's fun because this is the first official storyline with Lalla Ward as Romana. And the chemistry between these two has always been fantastic. And, when she guest started during the, basically the Key of Time episodes, and then, now that she's on full time, they saw something with her, and I was really impressed what they did. And, it's part of, she is one of my favorite companions with Tom. And so it's a lot of fun, and we've got a great crew here to talk about it. Of course, let's say howdy to Mr. Mike Gordon.
Howdy.
And Ms. Melanie Dean.
Hello, everyone. Can't wait to chat Who with you.
And, of course, last but never least in our hearts, Ms. Mary Ogle.
Hey, everybody. It is fantastic to be here.
Mary, it is always great to see you, and it's also great to see Mike and Melanie with big smiley faces. So it's always good to see everybody, and we definitely would love to hear from you guys at home. Feedback at Earth Station Who is the best way to do it. And before I forget, if you get a chance, this could take 5 seconds of your time. Please like and subscribe. We would really appreciate it. That's how you get our listeners. That's how we get, recognized by YouTube. And, if you're listening to us, please 5 stars and subscribe. That's the best way we could say, and it's always good to do. 3 of us will be in just 2 weeks. We're going to be in Dragon Con. So it's pretty awesome. Are you guys looking forward to it and everything?
Always.
Absolutely. Can't wait.
I shall watch from afar.
We can get you a subscription to Dragon Con TV so you can watch,
There
live.
you go.
Mm. But it's interesting because it seems like Dragon Con is a little, bit this year because all the Doctor Who guests have canceled pretty much.
Yeah, everybody went away.
Filming schedules and such. They had David Tennant canceled. They had Alex Kingston canceled. Billy Piper just canceled. It's, pretty much.
They heard we were coming, and
we're all coming back to the show. And
it.
so we can't be there. Earth Station Who is going to be there? No. It's either that or, Caro said, go away. We're still trying to get them to have a Earth Station Who panel, which we're not. We're not doing that. We're not, I was asked a couple times if we were going to do an Earth Station Who panel, but sadly enough, we're not. I'm only doing one panel this year. So, Judy's convinced that I'm going to do more, but you know how it goes. Mikey, how many do you got this year?
I've got 7 panels on my schedule currently, including one that is for the Brit Tracks. Actually, I've got 3 for the Brit Tracks, but one of them that I'm doing on Monday is Doctor Who related.
Oh, nice.
It is the many other faces of Doctor Who, where we talk about sort of different versions of Doctor Who other than what we've seen on TV. So it looks like it's going to be a fun time, and that's of course in the Brit Track and the Hilton on Monday.
Awesome. Awesome.
Cool.
Awesome. And you, of course, will have your table over in Artist Alley.
Absolutely. Yes. Going to be set up from Friday to Monday. And so if I'm not at one of these panels, you can reach me or see me at the America's Mart. And that will be on the 4th floor. Now, I don't have my table number yet, and I think they're doing some restructuring this year. So I'll be curious to see where we end up being. But I'll be there.
That is awesome. Definitely check out the 4th floor of America's Mart, because the first 3 are the vendor areas and the 4th floor is Artist Alley. And folks, that's where you're going to find the most amazing stuff. And you also help support local artists and also, people who are not, DC and Marvel and such. But I know there's some pretty big comic names coming too this year. So it would be very impressed to see that if we decide to stand in line for an hour and a half to get into the building. So, but it's a lot of fun and it is worth it. It really, really is worth it. Dragon Con is just so big and so much to see. If you have a schedule set for it, as we used to say on the Dragon Con report, if you set a schedule for yourself, try to keep to it, but most likely you're going to only see half of what you're scheduled to see, just because there's going to be so many other things distracting you. And that's the cool thing about the con. And it's not one of those cons that is, like in a convention center where it closes down at 7:00 or 8 p.m. This goes basically from Thursday evening,
24/7.
Yeah, Thursday evening all the way till Monday.
Oh, it starts on
7.
Tuesday now.
Yeah, well, what do they say? Tuesday is the new Thursday, Wednesday is the new Friday, and Thursday is the new Saturday. So, it's going to be fun as heck for everybody who's going to be there. And I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of old friends. And I will have apple pie with me. So, please put your requests in now. So there you go. So with that being said, let's go back, and now we are going to be looking at Destiny of the Daleks. We are going back to the year 1979, from September 1st till September 22nd. And this introduced Lalla Ward as Romana II. And let's just start with that, actually. I love how they did the regenerations there. And because this was the first time that we actually got to see a Gallifreyan try on different skins and everything. That was really unique. And because it's always been, Tom laying, down, this moment has been prepared for, or the mad monk, the monk going, oh, he is not dying, or, Patrick Troughton going, I will not regenerate, I will not, you can't make me, and, seeing all the different faces and everything. So it was actually really, really cool to be able to see that the Gallifreyans can actually pick what they want to go. And they've played with that a little bit further on in the series and everything. So what were your initial thoughts when you saw that?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was it's not really something they've hung on to that much in future regenerations, but it's fun in this instance. And this is very Doctor Who. It's like, do this one thing and in canon and then never go back to it
of course.
Again.
Well,
but
it's better than bi-generation,
barely.
So it's okay.
But it was fun. It was fun.
Not only is this the debut of, I guess, Romana II, as she's referred to, I guess, canonically, that's right?
Canonically, yes.
Anyway. But it's also the first story produced under the auspices of script editor Douglas Adams. And you can see his impact right here. Because he's just having fun with, it's a takeoff. Obviously, it's a takeoff on Tom's, when instead of trying outfits, she's trying on bodies. Which, fandom has gone separately and tried to figure out if she's actually regenerating over and over again, or if she's just, like changing her, like, is she still cooking, so to speak, as they use that term later on. And, as Mary pointed out, it's not to be taken seriously. I think at this point in the series, even though it's been on for a long time, they're just looking at having fun. They're not really caring about any sort of rigid continuity that would drive fans crazy later on. So as it stands, that scene is pretty fun, and it does open up some possibilities that later on. One thing that I thought was interesting, and we must be on the same wavelength as some other folks, because I noticed that shoot, I had it right in front of me and now it's gone.
It's
Sorry.
gone.
Where did it go? Sorry. But Doctor Who magazine has just released. They've decided to finally track down and interview the women that were in this segment.
Oh.
And
that's
so
awesome.
the first magazine that does this is, I guess, the one that's currently on stands now, which is the one. And like I said, I had it right in front of me, and now it's gone. So I'd have to look and see which one it is. But so they're taking a look at this just now. So I thought it was pretty interesting. So if you want to know more about this segment and the women who played the various incarnations there, or versions, or whatever you want to call them, regenerations, they're going to be taking a deeper look at that in that magazine.
That's awesome. We'll have to check that
Oh,
out.
that's cool. Yeah.
Most definitely. Because, it was neat seeing too short, too tall. Just no. I loved it. That was just.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
so well
they
done.
really had a lot of fun with all of that. And, look, it's one of those things. It's kind of like, like Tom's Tom, but it's just sort of like it's some of it's kind of cringy.
Oh, a lot of it's kind of crunchy.
Yeah. But I like
take it with a grain of salt.
Oh yeah, you got to.
But I like that they pointed out once again that, oh wait, we've already seen this body in this show, so they've already kind of know that, as Doctor Who kept doing this, recasting people that have already appeared and figured out a fun way to do it. I liked how they're like, but I like this body. I really enjoyed this one, and then tried changing, and then went, okay, how about this? And letting her come back to play.
Mm-hmm. I love though when she finally came out as the second Romana. That she was dressed in the scarf and the hat and everything, and Tom was like, "Now that's a great outfit," which was just awesome. No, they did.
Lalla
it really
does make
well.
that work a lot. It's not very practical, but it's not very practical for Tom, but it's even doubly not practical for her. But I can't deny she looks great in it. And when I think of her, a lot of times I think of her in this outfit.
Oh, it's great with the pink jacket, with the white scarf, and the boots and everything. She looked great. That was a great, outfit, and I think it matched up really well with Tom's doctor in this. And so it was. I enjoyed that part, and when they went to the planet, as soon as they landed, and he was like, high radiation. I wonder if I've seen this place before. It's like,
and of course you're like, yes, it's a quarry. You've been here a million times.
Many times. How many times?
And you're going to see it a million more.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like, oh, joy, a quarry world. Yay. So it was interesting. How do you guys feel about, this being a true follow-up to Genesis of the Daleks? And, basically picking up, with, Davros and such. Did you, is this it's not anyone's first time watching this, was it?
No, not mine anyway.
Mel?
Yeah, I thought it was, but then like partway into the first episode, I was like, oh yeah. I have seen this before. I remember the Bo Derek hair and I remember
I remember watching this when I was younger, so this one has been a while since I've rewatched it. I went, yeah, I have seen this one.
It's probably been 20 years since I've seen this one, and
Right.
or more probably. Yeah, and it's funny. Judy was watching it with me a little bit, and they were asking. I know they're going for the Bo Derek look, but they look like mops on their heads. So,
Or Muppets.
yeah. For
Weird,
the
you guys started
Movellans.
thinking about Derek, and I was thinking all of a sudden, I'm like, hey, it's Rick James.
Yeah. Oh,
That's what I was thinking.
Oh,
I'm thinking it's Rick James.
Yeah,
Rick James
Rick
also.
James too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, it was 1979, folks.
They could have all
Yep.
busted out with Super Freak, and it would have
Damn
fit
straight.
right in.
That
Or
would have actually been awesome.
Awesome.
We could have seen them all running on the beach, running towards the camera in slow motion. There we go. But yeah, it was interesting. I knew they were the bad guys, right? Both of them, they were not the good guys and everything right from the very beginning when you first met them. It was like, I suspected foul play all the way. So
Yeah. Wow. It was pretty obvious.
yeah, it was interesting. And I like when, they figured out they were on Skaro, and it was the Daleks were awesome, in this. They were just, typical mustache twirling bad guys, exterminate, and everything. And,
Well, the voice wasn't quite there, but yeah, I think it was kind of not the same voice that we're used to, but
well, no.
So one of the things I love about this series and Doctor Who in general, and the fact that they do they keep building, they don't completely reboot the series, that it's continuous, is that because it's no secret whenever the Daleks are on, because there's always blah, blah, blah of the Daleks. Like they always tell you in the title, the Daleks are coming.
Right.
So it's not like you're halfway through the episode, you're like, oh my God, it's the Dalek. There's no surprise there, which is okay. That is what it is. But what I really appreciate is whenever a doctor, throughout the course of the whole franchise, whenever the doctor discovers that the Daleks are involved, his reaction is always engaging to me, because without a doubt, consistently, it goes from, I'm the lighthearted doctor, I'm, cutting up and doing all this stuff, to, oh my God, it's just got real. It's like they sell it more than anything that the Daleks do. It's always, to me, the burden is on the doctor and all the other actors who are victims to sell how scary the Daleks are. And I think it's a great treat whenever this happens, because it's always fun for me to watch that. I mean, when Tom clicks and when he says it's Skaro, man, does his face completely sell it. It's also interesting whenever a companion meets the Daleks for the first time. Although I must say, Romana, it's interesting because obviously she's aware of the Daleks, but I don't think we'd ever seen her encounter them before.
No, you haven't.
And unfortunately, she just really becomes a screaming ninny here, and that's kind of unfortunate. But I appreciate her efforts.
Well, they even tried to recreate the scene in the very first Dalek story where Barbara first saw the Daleks and she was backing up against the walls with her hands up. Romana did almost the exact same pose. They were trying to pay homage to that.
I mean, I love the dramatic, breaking through the glass that the Dalek just bursts into the room suddenly.
The plastic? Yeah.
The candy glass.
They look like garbage bags.
It looked like garbage bags or something.
I mean, it looked like candy glass to me, but I mean, it still was pretty dramatic, and I enjoyed it. So, yeah, I think I enjoyed this one more than you guys. But anyway,
yeah, I actually think when they're interrogating her, she actually sells it pretty well. How afraid she is. But I mean, unfortunately, she's not given much else to do in the rest of the story.
She fell down quite a bit, though. She did fall down.
Yeah, she ran back and forth and fell quite a bit. I mean, this whole I'm very lukewarm on this because even though I think everybody's fine in it, and that the effects for what they are fine, except Davros is really lame. But the there's just no story here. It's just or it's such a basic story
Very much
that
so.
it really started to drag. I had a hard time
Yeah. And
maintaining focus.
it's funny for me, it was how strong Genesis of the Daleks was. This one was so much weaker of a
Was
story.
not.
Yeah. No, exactly. And it wasn't horrible, folks. I'm not saying it's a fun Dalek story, but you had brilliance in Genesis of the Daleks. With this one, it was more of, just a standard, Daleks trying to rescue or free Davros, and and then they end up, of course, failing miserably. So it's typical, Dalek story and everything.
Well, and it's just a dumb premise
Yeah.
because the whole thing about they've been at a stalemate for centuries. And I'm like, well, then you're both a bunch of dumbasses because there's like all sorts of ways around that.
Yes.
I'm sorry, man. I completely disagree. I think the premise is fun. I think it's obviously a Douglas Adams type premise where two computers are reaching a stalemate and they can't figure out how to get out of it. It's very Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy to me. It's actually, I think, based on a story by Robert Sheckley, who was a favorite author of mine, actually, and Douglas Adams as well. I was very aware of him, who also was like very, very satirical. Now, I will admit that we don't get that premise until like halfway through the story, which is kind of a shame. I wish we kind of like were thrown into that situation in a different way, because there is a lot of like, I'm going to call it Terry Nation nonsense that we deal with because Terry's pretty good for what he does, but he only has a certain number of hits that he keeps dipping into over and over and over again. So a lot of it does seem familiar, but the idea of them needing to have an element of Davros, an element of that's not mechanical, I think is pretty interesting because you don't usually see. Prior to this, the Daleks were all about like we are perfect. We don't need anything biological, and here they have to admit that they do, and they never really get a chance to. It's not really a powerful scene. Like we don't get a powerful scene like we do in Genesis, where Tom's holding the wires together, and he's like, "Should I do this or not?" We don't get a moment like that, but we do get a moment where Tom does make the decision to to kill. Like, I mean, he is definitely regretting that decision that he made in Genesis, and he's not above like just wiping him out. I mean, he plants the bomb on Davros, and he's not afraid to set that thing off.
Hmm?
Yeah, sorry, that premise didn't work for me at all. And I'm a big Douglas Adams lover. I love his satire. I get the satire. I get what they were trying to do. I don't think it worked. I don't think they sold it. I it just was not believable. There has to be, no matter how ridiculous it is, there has to be some element of, okay, this could actually be real, or at least possible. And they just don't sell it. They just don't. And it just doesn't go anywhere. And maybe if they had gone further with it, explored it a little further, that might have helped. But they don't explore it at all.
But you got
This,
you got a killer game of rock paper scissors out of it, though.
That's true.
yes.
So
But I kind of had the feeling that I thought very much when he was showing off the rock, paper, scissors, I was thinking war games. I was thinking when they had to teach the computer, you're going to have stalemates. So I kind of thought that kind of correlated to, I mean, granted, that came out much later, I think. No, I really like, I'm kind of with Mikey G. I really love this. I really like this story. I really like the costuming with showing off. I like that they used costuming to show off that the Daleks have been picking apart people for a while and then enslaving them, and that how it and how like the one guy he said it so short and poignantly, and I can't remember if it was him or the other girl. And I'm gonna butcher he said, but shouldn't they, when Romana's like, they can use machines, they can come up with machines to drill all this. Shouldn't they be able to do this too? And they're like, no, this is the most, getting a humanoid to do this work is easier and more expendable. So
that was a good line.
That was a great
I
line.
was like,
yep.
Yep. And
Yeah.
I liked that with the costuming, you could see how even though only two people really said, or no, actually three, later on with Tyson saying what he was and where he was from. Well, kind of the dead guy with another, you're not from here and you're from a different gut place. Why are you here? But then the man and the woman, that one of them had said that line, said again, yeah, I'm from such and such. And so the guy said such and such. So it kind of helped show that this is that they've been doing this for a while, ensnaring all these different people and getting them in there. Because granted, they've actually stated 4 people were from different places scattered across the galaxy, but then you see how very differently everyone's dressed, that they have different people of different, creeds and, people of color on top of the costuming. So you're like, oh, this has been going on for a hot minute. What the heck are they, trying to drill to? And I really kind of liked that intrigue because I haven't seen this in quite some time. I did not remember that this was the one that they were going to get Davros. And it has my favorite scene in the world where he wakes up. I'm like, okay, you've been asleep for that long, you're not dead. And just Tom is just so canny to him. He's like, yeah, and you've been asleep for this long, you're still a megalomaniac. Here, have a jelly baby. And just bam, pops it out of his hands. I was like, that's right, that's where this comes from. Because it's one of those clips. I love it.
Did you think that, because maybe this was throwing me off, they were presenting the Daleks as robots, basically.
Right.
As if they did not have any organic parts anymore. Mm-hmm. And that's just so different from how the Daleks have been portrayed.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise.
Sure.
And I think that threw me off, and that threw off the premise and the storyline.
And
because they were not completely mechanical in my mind.
I feel that the Daleks they've evolved just like any other kind of species, and at this point maybe they had evolved to more of they were becoming very, very robotic. So to me it kind of sold that, okay, by this time and age their natural progression was, okay, we're getting rid of every piece of little mutation in little weird kind of little cellular things that we end up finding out are in them.
Oh, I love when Tom picked up the slug. And
he's like, oh, look, it's this. You reminded me of that. And then he throws that sucker right against it.
It was
like, sir.
Oh, I love that scene. It was just like, oh, damn.
In the beginning.
Yeah,
they're like, we got to climb out of here. Okay, we get out of here. And then all of a sudden, they're just, finally the Dalek comes in behind him and he's just standing there waiting. Just waiting. He's like, hang on. No, I got time for a zinger. We're good. Right. Oh, if you're so amazing, why don't you learn how to climb? Bye-bye. I'm like this. I'm here for the petty. Anytime I get a doctor that's petty, just makes my heart sing. So yeah.
and for new Doctor Who fans, the Daleks have yet to fly at this era.
I know. I'd like to think that's why they did it, was because of this one.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, we're gonna get you.
We gotta fix that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, supposedly, Douglas Adams wrote that, and then Terry was not happy because anything that kind of diminished or made fun of the Daleks or showed them as being weak, he was not a fan of. I mean, that's his bread and butter, so of course not.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah,
Terry's going to take it seriously. So,
but even the what are they called? Movellans?
Movellans.
At first, this has been so much long, I completely forgot that they were robots. Spoilers. I just I caught on to how all of them they walked like models. And I'm like, oh, ooh, what is this? Because they all had that Model-esque figure. They all were I'm like, they were all runway ready. And I'm like, this is an interesting take that in my brain, I'm thinking this species all has this type of gait. I'm like, that's actually really kind of a neat nuance. But then I realized that they're all damn robots. I'm like, oh,
of course.
You know what? I love that ingeniousness of not making them all like robots and walking around like C-3PO.
Yeah, I was seeing it. It's like, oh, they're all dressed in white and they're in a quarry. That's not going to last. That's not going to last at all. It's like,
yeah, clearly y'all aren't from here because you're too pretty. There's no dirt on you.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not a secret that they're going to be not as good as they claim when their actual name is Movellans.
Movellans.
Look, there's Movellans in this.
There's Movellans in this story.
Yay!
Doctor, you better not trust them. They're Movellans.
Oh, we got Movellans now.
Exactly. And you never hear from these guys again, I don't think.
They are mentioned. I did find some references where they are mentioned in a couple of later episodes and everything, but we never see them.
You never see them again,
as far as I know. No, I mean maybe a Big Finish thing or something. I don't know, but
right.
Yeah, they are mentioned.
No loss there, really. But it was interesting. I liked the slaves. I thought they were awesome. Like Mel was saying, I loved how you had so many varieties of them, and and it was just interesting. And I love the Tom, the Daleks had no problem exterminating them right in front of the Doctor to get them to to work with them. And it's like, and he was just like, okay, don't kill them, and the Doctor was trying to think he had all the power over the Daleks until lives were starting to be taken. Then you realize that Doctor is just like, he at least has, what they call a conscience, and, and such. And it was interesting with that. I liked Davros in this. I liked, for, that he was waking up, oh, I've been waiting and waiting, and you just see the hand moving and everything. It was just
some stretching.
His one little jazz hand.
Exactly. His one working hand was with the guy. That guy needs a manicure, but it was just like it was like, oh, needles and pins in that hand. But it was I liked the interaction between him and Tom. That was really well done. And, I'm kudos to that. I think that was my favorite part of the story, other than Lila and Tom. So,
yeah, it's a different actor playing Davros than was in Genesis. So, but the fact that it's still, I mean, like I said, I mean, it's pretty. I mean, Tom has pretty much got chemistry with everybody. But
oh yeah, he had chemistry with that slug. It was pretty amazing, So.
Him being pinned down, waiting for Romana. He's like, "Oh, I got a book." Okay,
of course. And I love that. It's just like when Romana came back because she was going to get K9 and point the arrow of his brain in the right direction. It's like, at least she had the excuse of the rocks falling down. And I love when at the end when they were digging the TARDIS out, and Tom was just like lifting him up over his head and just throwing it.
Oh, I mean, it was pretty obvious that those were not, real.
No, really?
Yeah.
Like I said, pretty obvious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, for 1979, I thought the effects were pretty good and everything. The spaceship landing was kind of like, But, 1979 Doctor Who, I wasn't expecting anything more. So, they didn't have a Star Wars budget or anything like that, or Star Trek.
No, I mean, it was fine for what it was. I mean, nothing really horrible stood out.
Yeah, I didn't see anything. I guess I didn't watch it, but I guess the DVD I have has copy has updated effects, but I didn't choose to watch that, so I can't speak to how those
Right.
But
I watched the Blu-ray, so, and that, if those were the updated effects, oi.
well, like I said, on the Blu-ray they weren't. I mean, on the DVD they weren't updated, but you had the option to choose if you wanted to. And
Right, of
like I
course.
said, I didn't find that out until after I was done watching it. And I'm like, I don't.
You didn't go back.
I didn't go back.
No, and you know what? You know, folks, if you haven't seen this one, it is a fun story to watch, and it's only 4 episodes. And these are, you know, this. I'm glad it wasn't a 6-parter because I think the story moved very well.
Mhm.
You know, poor Romana running through the quarry 4 or 5 times back to the TARDIS and running through the alien spaceship and running, you know, and then her being captured and being put into that tube with the bomb. And I love
She was shoved in there too, all just like little
Exactly.
like all up there. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
I mean-
okay, that's actually really kind of cool.
Yeah.
They're using her as bait. Did they put a real bomb in there with her?
They did, but they didn't.
I mean, or was
They
it just
did.
a fake bomb?
No, it was
No,
the
they
real
did,
bomb.
but then
They
yeah, because the
didn't
commander
set
thought it was set, but then the other robot was like, "Why would I waste it?" And you're like, oh, "Okay, true."
Yep. So yeah, it was. There were some good cliffhangers on this. So, but it was a lot of fun, and you know, any final thoughts before we go ahead and rate this one?
Yeah, I think I like this one less than you guys.
That's fair.
But I mean, that's okay. It's not like the worst thing I've ever seen or anything like that. And I think it just mostly hinges on the story.
Of
It's
course.
just, to me, not that great a story. But I mean, you know, there are good parts to it. The acting's fine. The effects are fine. I wish Romana had more to do. I would have liked, because I like Lalla Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lalla Ward is great, and I like her complete run as Romana. Even when they brought Adric in, I still liked her. So, but
My understanding is that this was the first one that aired with her, but it was not the first one she shot. She actually shot a couple other stories before this one that I guess aired out of order. But so anyway, yeah, she seems like she's got the character down pat. Like she doesn't really. I don't. You know, she seems like it's not like I was watching this and going, it doesn't feel like the Romana. I mean, obviously, it doesn't feel like the Mary Tam Romana, but it's not supposed to. So
no, not at all. And
she never. I mean, she doesn't appear. She never has a regeneration. Mary Tam doesn't. I guess because either she was like, no, I'm not coming back, or I mean, she left. One of the reasons why she left, I think, was because she was pregnant, right? So
yes,
and she wanted to have a family, so she didn't have time, wherewithal to do this. So, yeah, she might have been, you know, unavailable. Let's put it that way.
Right.
So
no, and this is in a series of great episodes because City of Death is next after this one, which we all loved when we reviewed it, and you know, some people post that as one of Tom's best episodes. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think City of Death was actually filmed before this.
Okay. But so I think, you know, we're good to go with that. And, you know, folks, if you want, please check out our old episodes. And we reviewed City of Death probably about 3 years ago or so.
I don't even remember.
Yeah,
it's just all a blur to me.
It's all a blur.
It's all a blur. We've just been doing a lot of Doctor Who. All right, let's go ahead and rate this. 1 out of 5 TARDISes. 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. All right, Melanie, what's your thoughts?
Mary, shield your ears. I'm giving this a 4.5 because I will rewatch this. I enjoyed the heck out of this. Even my husband was having fun with it. At one point, he was making dinner, and it was just during the Daleks as they're going away, and they got into this like obey loop. And this was like well before Davros even showed up. And they're like, obey, 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 and then he's shouting, obey, obey. So it was just for me, it was just a lot of fun. And one quick note would be, I like how varied the cast was, how they for the casting of people. And in my brain, I could hear the naysayers yelling at New Who right now, going, "Oh, everything's so woke. Oh, this is so woke. Oh, you're just trying to check all the boxes." And I'm going, look at this episode and look at the wealth of humanity that's in here playing different characters and different things, and they're all bringing their A game because, so yeah, I have that episode to point to and tell them to, 4.5. I love this episode.
But those people would
Sorry,
also
Mary.
probably be supporting the Daleks, and the Daleks aren't so bad in this one. Yeah,
Right.
so
They start shooting people
Look at
indiscriminately.
all those DEI hires they had to contend with.
I know, right?
Gosh.
So yeah, 4.5. I
All
enjoyed
right.
it. I like
4.5.
it. Rewatch it.
Mikey.
I'm going to give this a 3.75.
Okay.
I almost give it a 4. Yeah, it's got some issues that Mary has pointed out, and yeah, it's not as consistent as I would like. I mean, it's not as fun, but I think, as far as Dalek stories goes, it could be in my top 5 or so, just because, look, we've seen a lot of Dalek episodes that are really awful.
Well, that is true.
and this is not one of them. Yeah, I mean, I liked it as well. By the way, I was able to find it. I looked it up. So if you get Doctor Who magazine, that's on I guess it's on sale now, which is issue 632. They are talking to the first of 3 actresses who took the role of Romana in the first 5 minutes of this episode. And the first one that they talked to is Maggie Armitage, who was the one in the sort of robotic blue look. She had the blue face and all that. So so they talked to her first, and that's great that Doctor Magazine is kind of tracking them down. I'm kind of surprised it's taken them so long, because it's like, I thought everybody who's had anything to do with Doctor Who was already on the convention circuit.
Yeah, right.
Like, hey, I was in Doctor Who. I was, she can go around and say, I was a companion. Like, I was Romana. So, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, 3.75 for me.
That is awesome. And of course, Mary.
I think I'm going to give it a 3. I mean, it's just a very middle of the road episode for me, mostly because I just didn't think the storyline was that great. But there are definitely fun moments in here. It's not something I would just, dismiss and tell people never to watch or anything like that. It's you're in the right mindset for it. You overlook a few things, and it's still a lot of fun. So yeah, I think around a 3.
Nice. That's really nice. I'm going to go in between everybody, and I'm going to do a 3.5 for mine. I enjoyed it. It was fun just watching Tom be Tom, and and him eating up every scene that he's in, but having fun at it at the same time. It was neat, and like everybody's been saying, especially Mike, you could definitely see the Douglas Adamsisms in this one, and I loved it. And you know what? And that's the great thing about Doctor Who is, this is the first episode of the season, and you could tell it's fresh. It's, a brand new companion, a doctor who is so masterful at what he does. And that's what makes it so much fun. I definitely recommend it. And I do recommend, if you haven't seen Genesis of the Daleks, watch it first. And, they both tie in together really nicely. So definitely, have fun with it. And, the Doctor and the Dalek story continues into the Peter Davison era. And that's also a great story. It's one of Peter's.
Do we see how Davros gets unfrozen? Or is he just because the next time we see them, if I'm not mistaken, the Daleks are at war with each other, right?
It's
because
a Dalek
the
civil
Davros
war.
Daleks
Yeah.
versus the Supreme Daleks, right?
Oh, and I love that line, Supreme Dalek. I will have to have a word about that one.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like that too. It is it is the shape of things to come. Up there,
Exactly.
so.
But yeah, it definitely is. It's definitely a lot of fun, folks. And we definitely would love to hear what you guys think about this. So please write us feedback@earthstationwho.com. And, definitely let us know what you guys think about it. And, Peter, we're counting on you to hear. We definitely want to hear what you've got to say on this one. So please, definitely, you're out there. Folks, that wraps up another episode of Earth Station Who. If you're going to be at Dragon Con, please look for these wonderful faces. We'll be definitely looking forward to seeing you guys. And of course, sadly, Melanie will not be there.
Yeah, so look for my wonderful face.
Yeah, exactly. She'll be the weeping angel at the.
Yeah,
exactly.
We should
Don't
get
blink.
T-shirts with your face on it.
Exactly.
kind of.
Exactly. We'll have a cutout mask of your face like that. So I think it'll be kind of fun. But you know what? It's gonna be great if you haven't made plans yet for Labor Day weekend. It is September 3rd through the 7th. So definitely check it out. And it's a blast. And, Dragon Con is like no other con out there. I'm looking forward to going back. It's the first time in almost 4 years that I've been going since I've gone. And same thing with Mary. She'll be coming back. And of course, Mr. Mike has been holding down the fort. So it's going to definitely be good to stop by and visit and see a lot of great friends and meet a lot of new ones also. And, as I like to say, hit me up for some apple pie. Not that, I'm going to sell it or anything, but, I should have some on me somehow. So definitely.
That would be illegal.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Mr. Gordon. No idea right there. But definitely, let's thank our crew for being here. Of course, Mr. Mike Gordon, we made it through another one.
We did. And as always, it's my pleasure. And speaking of Dragon Con,
I was about to ask your schedule and stuff.
Well, speaking of Dragon Con, yes, you can find where I'll be, my table and everything. All that stuff will be on my social media, as well as I think that'll be in the app as well.
The app is live. The app is live. The app is live.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, it's not updated quite yet. But yes, it's coming. So, but yeah, by the time the con will be there. So, but also I wanted to point out too that we have been recording our episodes of the Dragon Con Report all season, all year. So there's a lot. If you want to find out about what's going on at the con this year, some tips, some interviews with some behind the scenes folks, everything like that. We've got a lot of content that you can digest just this year alone, let alone the other 14 years we've been doing it. So that's all available. But our most recent episode was really fun. We had some track directors on, as well as a DJ Nemesis, and our good buddy, formerly known as the troublemaker that was Phantom. He is host of the Big Damn Game Show, and he was featured on our last episode as well. And and we've got a couple of bonus episodes that we're going to try to squeeze in before the con as well. So watch for the Dragon Con Report either on YouTube, like this show, or audio-wise, like this show as well.
That is awesome. Very nice. And Ms. Melanie Dean, thank you as always.
Oh, thank you. I always love talking Who with y'all.
Awesome. Anything you want to promote?
Nothing really offhand right now. You can find me on Instagram at Pieces of Melee. I finished one mural, working on others, and that's about it.
That is awesome. Definitely check out her artwork. She is amazing.
Thank you.
And of course, last but never least, Ms. Mary Ogle. Can't wait to see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's getting really close. It's really crept up on us.
Oh, it came up faster than I expected. This whole summer has flown by. So
this whole year has flown by.
Yeah, good point. Very, very good point. So anything you want to promote or shout out about?
Nothing special, but you can find my artwork at maryogle.com.
How did your show go, by the way?
It went well. I did not sell my paintings.
Oh, boo.
I know. So sad. It's a lot
They're
harder to sell things that when it's not the holiday show. I don't think people are in like the mindset to buy art.
Well, you know, because one of your paintings costs almost as much as a gallon of gas nowadays. But
Oh no, my painting's much cheaper than a gallon of gas.
they just haven't found their perfect home yet. The
There you
person that
That's
sings
it.
with them. So next
That
time
must-
around.
yes.
that's it. Well,
Yes.
definitely. And where can people find you?
You can find me at maryokel.com.
Excellent. Excellent. My podcast stuff going on. Of course, you find me up here, but I do have one panel going on at DragonCon. I will be part of the digital media track. I have one panel right now. It's tentatively scheduled for Saturday evening at 7 p.m. So you could definitely find me in Galleria 6 of the Hilton. So it might be changing time. So don't hold me to it, because until the schedule is out, or actually until the panel actually happens, it might change.
Right.
That's the joy
Till
of
10 minutes
DragonCon.
before the panel.
Exactly. So definitely check it out. Definitely come by, say howdy, and we'll all be wandering. And you know, it's kind of nice being able to go, and I'll be able to heckle all my friends at DragonCon. So there should be a ton of fun with that. So it should be good. Other podcasts I do, you could find me up on Tales from Hollywoodland. I do the announcing on the show, but I also produce and promote. And our last episode just went live on Monday, and we are talking about some of our favorite classic TV shows of all time. So it should be a lot of fun to do, and hearing, you know, some guys who were there for the golden age of television. You know, they were there. They saw Uncle Milty when it was live, you know, our shows of shows, Star Trek, all that when it first came on. It's pretty awesome, you know. And if they were in the UK, they could have been watching Doctor Who too. So it's kind of neat to see. So definitely check it out. talesfromhollywoodland.com is the best way to watch it, or wherever fine podcasts are found. Other things I got working, I've got, you know, a couple art projects going on, and I've got, you know, some voice acting work that I've actually signed up to do. I'm actually going to be narrating a book. So it should be actually kind of fun to do. And so you'll be able to hear me when you're, you know, listening to, you know, narration and such. And so it should be kind of fun to do with that. So definitely check it out. I'll let you guys know when the book goes live, and I've got a couple other projects in the works with that too. So until you see you guys the next time, if you get a chance, please support our Patreon. You can find it under patreon.com/ESO network. For as little as $1 a month, you could help support our wonderful show, and we're going to start having more and more content up there again. We've been slacking a little bit, sadly enough, but we are back, and we are going to have new stuff going up there. Some exclusive stuff, some shows like ours goes up literally 24 hours after this goes live. The audio version of the show is up there, so you can definitely check that out. Definitely, you know, if you want to help us otherwise, like and subscribe. That's the best way to do it. We would definitely appreciate that more than you ever know. YouTube is once again changing their analytics, and we are, you know, trying to hold on and learn new things how to do it. So should be a lot of fun with that. Folks, have a great summer, what's left of it. Hopefully, you know, for the kids who are going back to school, I'm sorry, but everyone else, you know, enjoy the rest of the summer, and we hope to see you in Atlanta in 2 weeks. Till then, on behalf of myself, Melanie, Mary, and Mike G, we will see you all soon. Peace, and we are done. Alon Z, my friends. Bye.
You have been listening to Earth Station Who, a pop culture podcast dedicated to all things Doctor Who, featuring talents from throughout space and time. All topics on the show are the sole opinions of the individuals and are to be used for entertainment value alone. You can subscribe to our show wherever fine podcasts are found, or check out our website, earthstationwho.com. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook or Instagram, and if you enjoyed the show, please write to us at feedback@earthstationwho.com.
Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you on the next journey of Earth Station Who.
Life's busy, and it just keeps getting busier. So tune in now to the Cigar Nerds podcast. Figure out what movies are worth your time, what TV shows are worth your time, and most importantly, what cigars are worth your time. Because we review all three, with a little bit of science and a little bit of news thrown in. So check us out on cigarnerdpodcast.com and on YouTube at Cigar Nerd Podcast.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.